The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
No! I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crown this girl that I meet. I'm gonna talk.
What in the world, everybody? It is Tuesday night, and guess what? It is the F word. If you forgot, there's an F word, that we were here every Tuesday night. Well, we weren't. I forgot. Jimmy probably forgot. Just so hopefully y'all don't forget, but that's why they have a lot of recordings, and if I'm not available, they can run an old show. So we've been doing this for a little while, but I'm really happy to be back tonight. September 10th already. Summer's over. Up here in Minnesota, I'm telling you what, it was a few weeks back, there was one tree by my place that was turning colors already, and I was getting really crabby about it because it was like the beginning of August. Just no. But now I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's dark early, and it's, dark early in the morning and dark early in the evening, starting to change around, and it's like a switch. But man, it's been an interesting, fast, fun summer. I've made some amazing friendships, and who I have on tonight I consider a good friend of mine, and I've had the pleasure of getting to meet him. He came into town, Eddy Pham, and he's the F word for tonight, everybody. It's Pham with a P, but it sounds like an F, so that's why it works. Eddy, welcome to the F word.
Well, thank you. Hi, nice. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for jumping on, because you know what? I just find you so amazing, and I know everybody else is, but it's funny because a lot of people think you can't get enough to talk about in an hour. Well, what usually ends up happening is we have to cut it off because we get into it so deep. But first of all, and excuse me, I am dying with the weather change. This is what's happening. I'm getting the sinus stuff. Eddy, tell everybody, so you live in Hollywood. So sometimes
I do.
I call Eddy and I'll say, hey, Hollywood. But he's got just an amazing life. I love listening to what he's doing and what he's up to and what he's created and everything. But let's go back before Hollywood, where it started. Tell me about your family. Tell me about you.
So I grew up, I'm Vietnamese. I was born in Vietnam. I came to the States in 78, and I was 7 years old. And we were refugees when we got here.
Wow.
And the Mormon international train brought us here. And we're not Mormon, we're Buddhist, but we were grateful that they brought us here. They brought my whole family here.
Wow.
And so we wound up in Laos and Cambodia, and then we went to the Philippines and Hawaii, and then made it to California.
Ooh.
Got our Social Security numbers there, and lived there a little bit. And somehow I don't remember how we got to Colorado, but it was the first time we saw snow. It was a little freaky, and I remember that.
Did you even know it existed? Had you even heard
I don't
of
think
snow?
I did. Yeah, because our host, the person that translated for us, explained to us if anything was wrong to dial 911, and I remember always calling 911 when it snowed. So
the sky's falling, literally.
Anything else? Yes,
wow.
Exactly. So we made our way. My mom got married to my great dad. Honestly, I didn't know he wasn't my biological father growing up. He was such a great dad. And I literally grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, in the valley of Connecticut, Lucin Arbon, and then made on my way up to Portland, Maine, when I was a sophomore in high school, and that's where I grew up until I was 35, and then came out to Los Angeles, not knowing I was ever going to live here.
Wow. So let's go back to New Haven. How long were you in New Haven?
I think at the time I was like 12 to sophomore year.
What is that?
17, 16.
What's that famous pizza place?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of them. Yeah.
Frankie's?
Pippies, Frankie's, Pippi's.
Pepe's.
A lot of famous
Pepe's.
pizza. Yeah. Pepe's. There's
Frank Pepe's.
famous
or something
cannoli
like
place. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So, I mean,
You know then
It's
exactly where my son lived. My son lived on the street where the cannolis are and Frank Pepe's.
oh, yeah.
Right
Oh,
there.
nice. Okay.
Like his house was like the next house over on that same street. So
Oh,
that
wow.
is like, yeah, it's supposed to be like one of the best pizzas. It was good. It was very good. But I was there when it was so ridiculous, like record-breaking cold 5 years ago. Okay, so and I'm sorry, I had to interrupt because I heard New Haven. I got excited because it was really good pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
And then where?
So, when I turned my first semester of my sophomore year in high school, we moved to Maine. My dad was a child psychologist who helped kids get off drugs, and he got recruited to go up to Maine. A new big, high-end drug rehabilitation place was opening up by one of his childhood friends, and as a teenager, I was angry that we had to move because I was going to leave my friends and this and that, and but I was a sophomore in high school. I was moving. I had no choice. So I moved, and I actually loved Maine. It was a lot slower, a lot colder, but, the people were good. I loved it, and it was a very wholesome, you work hard. And I grew up, my mom had a restaurant. She opened up a restaurant, and I grew up in a restaurant family. Even when I was a young kid, I was always making egg rolls because my mom didn't speak English. And she didn't know how to make any other money, so we sold egg rolls to the neighbors, and she saved up enough to open up a restaurant.
Isn't that crazy? Think about people nowadays. They can't even fathom doing that. I wonder how long it took her.
People nowadays, they want it handed out to them. I hate the word entitled. Someone that comes from another country, we don't feel entitled. We feel like we got the opportunity to make a better life, and we got the acceptance to come into this great country, and we don't want it for free. The first generations of immigrants that come to any country, especially in America, they work very hard. It's the second and third generations that take advantage of it because now they have placement. And I don't want to get too political, but that's my stance.
Well, you know what? So my grandfather came from Estonia, and he was 10 years old, didn't speak any English, had to learn. He had to learn. His father said, "Well, there you go. go to school. Do this." And how scary, but that's what they did, and they worked their butts off. And they're in school, and they'd walk out because they didn't realize that they were supposed to go back in. They got to go out for recess or something. They just went home because they didn't understand.
Yep.
So I can't even imagine. People just don't even know how scary it is to leave what you knew as a child and to come in something like snow.
Something as simple as snow, and as comical it may sound, but there's a lot of people that come to countries, and it's like if you go to a southern country and you see tropical rain. It rains for days and days, and it's not little drops. We get feet of rain, and that's not anything that is normal in America. So that's kind of scary too, because I've seen that.
Or you see like iguanas, things that you're not used to.
They're delicious.
Are they? I wouldn't know. I don't think I would want to catch one to find out. I go to Cabo with the girls, and I remember there was this just big one, and it went under my chair, and I couldn't do anything. I was terrified, frozen. Like, Kathy, just jump off. I'm like, it was.
It's more scared of you. It's more scared of you.
Me, the noises that was coming out of me, it had to be terrified. I was just like, somebody get it away. Oh my gosh. Okay. So your mom and her restaurant making egg rolls, you sold them to the neighbors.
Yeah.
I can't even, it's just so amazing what people, You know, like my kids, like, oh, I don't have any money. We'll sell something. What?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, I mean, there's been many studies out, especially in today's generation, nobody wants to be a doctor, a teacher, or a lawyer anymore, something that's very respectful. Everybody wants to be an influencer online. So, and they think it's so easy to become an influencer. I work in transactional marketing, a real grounded media buying industry. I grew up in the infomercial industry after the restaurant business, and I know a lot of influencers living in Los Angeles, and I mean, they work hard. I mean, some people who don't actually do it think it's, oh, I make a selfie and I post it and I become famous and rich. It's a lot more work than that.
You know what? I'm interested in hearing more. Tell me about the work that goes into that, because I don't know that world at all. I'm curious.
So,
because I mean, you see the Kardashians, for example.
Yeah, I mean, the Kardashians are a phenomenon because they got famous on one movie, and the mom, Kris, was very smart about managing that and taking it to the next level and positioning. I mean, Kris and her ex-husband, I remember them from the infomercial days when they did an infomercial. It was pretty successful. They did actually two.
They did?
And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They did the fitness infomercials. And they were pretty successful, and, because they needed to make money, and, him being a former Olympian, they used that, the success of that, and to sell product. And now, fast forward 20 plus years, she had an opportunity to, become a reality star, the whole family, and, Kris Jenner is, a genius in the sense of positioning things and taking advantage of stuff. I mean, I've met her a couple times.
She looks like, okay, I got to tell you something really, I can't even believe I'm going to tell that other people are going to know this. So sometimes, and I'll watch it, but here's what's funny is I'll fall asleep and the Kardashians will be on, and I'll dream that I'm hanging out with Khloe. In my dream. And I'm just like, I'm not kidding. Be like, hey, what's going on? I actually dream that I'm there. I'm like, hey, Kris, what's happening? Walking into her house. So that cracks me up that you met her, because it's like, yeah, I've met her too, but it was in my dream. So, I mean, it's just like,
oh my God, hysterical.
Absolutely hysterical.
So you watch all their properties on TV?
No, it's just like, if I'm flipping through, I didn't have the TV on once today. So it's just like every once in a while. But I know, I saw on Instagram that it was the new season, so then I tuned in.
What's amazing, they've really mastered the whole social media influencer market, because all of them get paid a lot of money, not as much as the youngest Jenner.
Okay.
At $1 million. $1 million a post, which is, to me as a marketer, is ridiculous. I mean, it's the same aspect as if I was going to position my new products going to market, I would never spend $6 million for a Super Bowl ad. People say it's worth the money, but it's really not.
No.
I can do a lot more for $6 million and buy a lot more positioning all year round versus one 30-second commercial.
Right. So, so we've got the Kardashians. Now let's say we've got Sally down the street, and she sells seashells by the seashore. So she wants to be an influencer. I did that without a glass of wine. Can you believe that? So
I don't think I know you without a glass of wine.
I know, right? I don't even know me without a glass of wine. I'm looking over. Oh, that's because I don't have any. Drink it. So how does she go about, like, becoming an influencer?
It's persistence. You have to stay on it. I mean, you just have to stay on it in the sense of you have to post things all the time, find your followers. You get your friends and family. They get their friends and family, and you got to spot it, web it out, and you have to know what your brand is. So that's what a lot of these kids don't understand. They don't understand what their true brand is, and they're just going to go after whatever they got attention on, and I'm funny. I'm going to be a funny person online. But they're really not funny. They might have made one video that was funny, but it really wasn't their true identity. So then they get depressed. So my influencer is just a part of what my business is. It's just because I use them in my marketing
Right.
sell products, and that's what I do. I'm a mass marketer on the transactional side.
So you use them. So what do? You go and say, here, hold my products and post it?
Yeah, no, so I give them free reign. So I'm personal friends with all the influencers I use. And basically, I tell them, I say, here's the product, you can keep it. Can you make me some videos and talk about it, push the traffic to the landing page, and they love it because they get a little bit of money up front. And if it's a CPA model, cost per acquisition, I'll pay them ongoing if somebody uses their link or their promo code, whatever is easier for them. They have to position it and basically say that this is a paid advertisement because the SE, trade commission is coming down on people on not saying that this is a paid position. So a lot of celebrities get in trouble when they talk about a product or a brand and they don't say that it's an advertisement or a sponsored ad, and they get sued for that. You know, they want to make it look organic, but I don't think it's a big deal because, you know, a fan knows when you're talking about a product or placement. So it's not a surprise. So I don't know why celebrities don't want to say that they're getting paid to, you know, show luggage or show shampoo or whatever. We all know you're getting paid for it. So
Right.
it doesn't matter to me if there's a hashtag that says sponsored ad. It's not a big deal.
Right. So, okay, so hold on a minute. I have to introduce you to somebody because this guy sells, you know, because I'm in that insurance world. But this guy, he's a former Major League Baseball player in Chicago. And actually, his company did an umbrella coverage for Kim Kardashian. And she had done, like, and I missed it, but she had, like, did something with a face mask. And then all these girls went out and bought the face mask, and something happened where it was, you know, not good. They broke out or whatever. Their eyeballs fell out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of their clients, and so she wasn't held liable at all because it was a media umbrella coverage.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yes, I do. So I have all my, anything that I bring to market, I have umbrella coverage. So it's, I have all kinds of coverage. I have performance coverage where if the product doesn't do, if I have an investor or somebody who's investing into the product, I have performance bonds that basically say if I don't hit the numbers, you'll get your money back if guaranteed by this insurance policy. I have liability product coverage where if the product breaks or harms you, I have that coverage. So, I mean, I'm in the business of 28 years of selling stuff on mass marketing. So I have every coverage possible.
Yes.
I have coverage even for me when I come visit you in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Make sure if the plane crashes, my loved one gets all the money if the plane crashes.
Love it. I love it. So many people don't think that way.
No, you have to. I mean, my specialty is my company, EFCO. We basically help startups launch their ideas to market. I worked 5 seasons on Shark Tank. My first product at 22 was on the George Foreman grill.
I know. Wait,
now.
Wait. So you were on Shark Tank for 5 seasons?
Not on camera, but on production in the sense of I was a product expert to pick the products to go on TV.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
The producer of the show, I think there's 2 levels of producers. They pick the person. So if I picked a widget, and the widget to me in my mind would make a lot of money for an investor, and then the producer at the next level will be like, oh, this is fantastic, and then they will interview you, Kathy, and be like, oh, what's your backstory? And then they would check you out, go, no, you don't have enough drama, you don't have enough story, it's not good enough for TV. Or if you made it through to the next one, then the final producer would be basically like, you're fantastic for TV, you're horrible. You know, they don't tell you that.
Right.
But there's always 1 out of the 4 people that are picked in the 1-hour show that they make look like an asshole. I don't know if I can say that.
You can say that. It's the F word. So.
Yeah. So basically, I quit for the same reasons that came on this show. So it was, you know, heartbreaking because I don't like it when, you know, you have a single mom who had an idea and sold 1,000 of the units or whatever that widget is. Because she did a really good job getting on the show and, you know, proving that she could make money. She just needed help or a network.
Right.
And then they rip her apart because she doesn't know her numbers. She doesn't know what EBITDA is. She doesn't know what cost of goods is or the MOQ or minimum order quantity. And it's insulting. I mean, I think it's really bad. But I also understand drama sells TV and advertising.
Right.
So I understand the game, but I couldn't be a part of it anymore.
And that's hard. I mean, one of the things that, I mean, I'm the first person to admit when I don't know something. I am like, my gosh. And I've been, you know, a keynote speaker traveling all over the country and would be up there and I would never guess. I would right away go, you know what? That's a really good question. So, you know, let me.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's a good question. Let me get back to you on that. Because I don't know.
Or I'd turn it around to the audience. I go, that's a really good question. Who knows the answer to it? And somebody would. Yeah. And so that would save me. But, you know, yeah, when people are up there, I wouldn't know that stuff. That's why you have people. That's why, you know, I'm supposed to be a princess, and people are supposed to just make things happen. And I'm noticing that it doesn't. And so, then again, I woke up and I wasn't a Kardashian. But they're just like amazing to me. And yes, the start of it, but you know what? You love or hate them, you got to respect. How can you not?
No, and I 100% respect them because we have to respect them because they, you know, I mean, I'm friends with the Hogan family and the Hulk Hogan knows best, and Dirk knows best.
Yes.
They were years before the Kardashians.
Yes.
And because they didn't know how to maximize that influential power, the Hogans were before the Ozzy Osbourne reality show. So the Hogans were literally almost the original of reality TV.
I would think so.
And they weren't before Cops. Cops is the longest running reality TV, but Cops wasn't you get to know the personalities. Right. Cops was you know, like a show that followed cops around, but it was always different cops.
Yeah.
But now, you know, reality TV is taking over our lives, and you know, there's very little scripted TV nowadays, and that's why, you know, actors get mad at influencer stars because they're like, oh my God, you know, you're not even a real celebrity.
Yeah, you're not even talented.
Yeah, but you're talented enough to have, you know, 6 million people watch them every night, which is what the number is.
Right? Oh my gosh. So, okay. And I popped in there because you said George Foreman Grill. Foreman, F word, ding, ding, ding. Go back in time. Tell me how that all happened, because I kid you not, I can't think of a store, a garage sale, a Goodwill, any place you go, there are George Foreman grills everywhere. Every college dorm room. I mean, we've got one at our cabin, up in, you know, our old cabin that my grandma had. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had one in my RV. I mean, they're easy, they're portable, they're cheap.
Yes.
You know, easy to clean, and
they last forever.
They do last forever. You know, there's I think 19 different versions of them now, and it's a legacy product because it's made billions and billions of dollars, and you know, over 28 years or 27 years in business. So it really changed George Foreman's financial future because he never made the money he made with boxing.
Right. Well, nobody really knew. I mean, unless you followed boxing.
Yeah, I can tell you when, you know, we started the program, it was supposed to be Hulk Hogan Grill. And that's why I've known the Hogan since 92. But other than that, he said no because it was like, you know, back in the 80s and 90s when a music celebrity got an opportunity to go sing in Las Vegas, nobody wanted to do it because they felt that was the death of their career. You know, in the 90s, that was how, you know, celebrities felt about infomercials because, if you have an infomercial product, you've got nothing going on in your life. But nowadays, want an infomercial product and singers want a residency. So It's amazing how things change.
And okay, you know who I just thought of? The Thigh Master, Suzanne Summers. Did you meet her?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've known her for a long time.
How is she? Is she? I mean, yeah, I loved her. I always loved her. That was just like, I mean,
she's pretty amazing, to be honest.
She seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah, I mean, she was, what's her name on that show?
Chrissy. Yes, Chrissy.
Yeah, she was the same person. It was funny because I introduced one of my friends who, growing up, had a crush on her when she was Chrissy, you know, when she was 20-something years old. And then when I introduced to her, now she's in her 50s or 60s, and he was like, that's not her. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, she's so old now. I'm like,
yeah,
that show is 30 plus years old.
Isn't that just crazy? Oh my gosh. And I mean, those shows were just so good back then. I mean, that's all we had. I mean, we didn't know reality shows. I mean, those are the Regal Beagle. I just thought of that. So you were doing, because, like, let's see, you were, like, direct response TV.
Yeah, better known as infomercials.
Yeah. And, I mean, so you worked directly with the products. You worked...
Yeah, so my role is I'm a product developer first.
Okay.
That's my core competence. So basically what that means is if you have a product and or an idea of a product, you would hire my company to help you develop it, make it tangible. So I would call it concept to conception. You know, so I take your concept and I make it real, I make it tangible. So a lot of people have ideas, and I love inventors, entrepreneurs, and dreamers, and I put them all in the same category. I love them all in the sense that they all want more. It's just we all have.
We don't know how.
Where and what is it? Invention is needed. Where you think of something like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Or I thought of that when you actually see it on TV.
Right.
Might be a little bit different than your actual idea, but the idea across your mind. But when you need someone like me, I help you make the idea tangible. I make it real. I'll bring it to market because I do everything from the product drawings that make them better, to the engineering, to the prototyping, to the sampling, to the packaging, then taking it. And I try to walk away at that moment when I have a finished product. I have all your manufacturing contracts in place. If the person wants to have them made in China, Taiwan, Vietnam, United States, hopefully the United States, but if they, wherever they want to make it, I try to, help them with that. And basically, now I give them the manufacturing contracts. Here's who's going to make it. Here's your product. Good luck. And then they're like, well, can you help us bring it to market? That's the long game. I like getting in and getting out.
Yeah.
But if I really like the person, then I stay in it for a long time where I help them bring the product to market.
How many products of your own?
How many products have I brought to market?
Of yours?
Well, I'm bringing a product to market in November called Complete with a Q, Qmplete. So this is the first time anyone hearing it on the radio.
Yes, there is.
We patented, I've worked on it for 5 years. I patented a new host card emulator. So what a host card emulator is, or HCE technology, is a MasterCard, a card that is a master of other cards. So my card, the Complete card, can hold up to 200 cards. Anything with the identifying marker from a barcode, QR code, or even account number, we emulate it just like you emulate your credit card or your debit card to an Apple Wallet or a Samsung Wallet. It's just that's the same technology. That's called emulation. But now, rather than doing it on your phone, you do it onto another credit card. Now you can hold all your credit cards, your gift cards, your library card, your debit cards, your credit cards, anything with a barcode, EMV, chip, account number, we can host on our card. And then the magic of our card is we put a 40-millimeter color touch screen on it. The same touch screen that's on the Apple Watch Series 3, very vivid, very nice colors. And on the back side of it, there's a biometric print reader. And so it's very high security. So you have your card loaded. You swipe through which you want to use your Amex because it's a business dinner, or your debit card because it's a personal dinner, or whatever. You swipe through. You unlock it with your fingerprint, and then you punch in the PIN number to authorize payment. And much higher security than carrying your credit card by itself.
Right.
Our Complete card has a GPS chip in it, has a cellular chip in it, and it's always looking for the best deal because our company built the largest rewards platform in the country to associate with the card. So when you walk into a Starbucks, it says, oh, it knows you're at a Starbucks, and it says, oh, you get a free cup of coffee because you're a rewards member. But you can accept it, save it, or share it to someone else. And if you accept it, the barcode comes up, gets generated. They just scan the barcode right on the card, and you swipe it so they can authorize it, and basically you get a free cup of coffee. So we don't control the deals. We only control the opportunities you to get them. So we have over 600,000 merchants in the United States, and that's growing daily. We have over almost 600,000 hotels and resorts around the world to give you a 40% savings across the board on hotels, resorts, and we just signed Airbnb as a partner on home rentals. So
oh my
it's growing
gosh!
every day.
How about Sandals? Yeah. Sandals Resorts.
Yeah, Sandals is part of our network.
Okay.
So it's pretty, I'm pretty happy everything is moving forward, and I truly believe that I'll be able to change the way we commerce.
Oh,
because when you associate your Wells Fargo bank account to our card and your Chase bank account or any bank account that you have that's a major account, major bank, you sign in with your complete access, and our card will tell you what your balances are. You don't have to sign into your bank anymore. The API read pretty strong. Our card is built on blockchain, which is the first payment card ever built on blockchain. The information is tokenized, so there's, it's impossible to penetrate the information. We are HIPAA compliant, so you can have your medical records on the card. We are PCI compliant, which means it's very high security. We're actually DoD level, the Department of Defense security levels entering, so the information can't be skimmed. So when somebody has a skimmer, so what a skimmer is I can have a skimmer in my bag, and I can walk by you, and I can copy all your credit cards, because credit cards give off an RF signal, and I can copy all of them, go home, and punch them out on a blank credit card, and then now start using your card.
Sometimes don't you just not like some people? I mean, even though you don't know them, but it's like, people, why do you have to be like that?
No, exactly. I mean, exactly.
Gosh, I don't think that way.
Work hard for your own money. Don't steal other people's. That's how I look at it.
I know. Go work for your own. Exactly. If I want to give money away, I'll give it to my church, or I'll give it to somebody I see that needs it.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, Capital One got hacked for, I think they said 1 billion cards.
No.
And that's 1 billion credit cards that got copied or downloaded to, a nefarious organization. And so they have to replace those. I mean, I was part of the Target hack, and my husband basically said, why did you buy $22,000 worth of Apple computers? And this was when Target happened, I think, 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? I would never spend $22,000 on Apple. Not all at once, at least. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, it's on our card. And I was laughing. I was like, that's not me. And so just that night, they announced that Target got hacked. And I was like, there we are, because we use that card at Target all the time. And, I mean, they rejected the payment, the charge, and, we got new cards. But that can never happen with a complete card. It can never happen.
So unless they, get your pin and chop your finger off, I guess.
They can do that, but that's a whole different problem.
That's a different problem, exactly. They're not into just the stealing the card info anymore. That means
now we have hardware that helps you protect your information now. So hardware is going to protect it. It's just like the Apple wallet and the Samsung wallets are hard to penetrate, because the information that your Wells Fargo debit card is actually not on the Apple wallet. It's in their cloud system, so it only comes when you call upon it. Right. So when you swipe through and you pick which card you want to make tap and pay, that information only comes when you call upon it. So it's the same thing with us, because I remember when Apple Wallet came out, they had big issues about refunds, like when somebody returned something at Target or any store that took NFC payment, near field communication. Apple was like, I think they thought of it, but they didn't educate the merchants on how to do a chargeback or a refund on Apple Wallet. So they had to educate everybody, because they didn't even think it through. Like, no one's going to return anything. People return things all the time. I do.
Yeah. You want to know, the first time I realized how sneaky people were was I managed a restaurant, and it never dawned on me. So we did these 2-for-1. People would bring in a coupon. Well, what my waiters and waitresses were doing for a while, until I caught on, where they were getting, they'd get paid in full. but then they'd throw the coupon in with their tab at the end of the night, and so they'd pocket the money for the other meal.
That was crazy.
And I just went, "Are you kidding me?" Because all they had to do was cut them out of the paper.
Yeah.
I just was like, how do people think that way? You know, so obviously, like, one waitress told another one, and they told that one, and they were all doing it. And I just went, that's
No matter how good the process is, there's always going to be somebody who thought about how to get around it. And so that's what I have a whole team of young kids who are trying to always think about, if I have a free Subway deal at Subway on the complete card, how can somebody get around that to get 10 Subways for free, or 20, or whatever, 2, so they don't have to pay for anything. So we're always looking at that, and luckily each card will get a very specific individualized barcode and serial number to scan, and that number will never be repeated again for that offer. So if I use it first and then I gave it to you, you couldn't use it behind me because it will say void. So we're doing a lot of different things like that in our database. We have 6 patents on our rewards platform. We do a really good job of securing that information because we work with Fortune 100 companies to offer the best deals across the board. We have over 600,000 properties that trust us to make sure people aren't spamming their properties.
And then speaking of like scamming, I mean, I know, like, I'm not going to like give out the names, but I mean, just like different, systems in different states, people get, and say they didn't.
Oh yeah, I'm working. I mean, I'll say it because we're launching our company and we're working with a state agency, and they came to us because I had a friend that's the chief of staff at the state level working with the governor and treasurer of the state, and basically they want to replace and do a case study, replacing 1.6 million of their welfare cards, their EBT cards, to help bring back the honesty, because a lot of people, they say they spend over $12 million a month replacing people's EBT amounts because that person will call up and say, "Oh, I lost my card again, and somebody used all the money," and they know that person used all the money,
but they can't
never
track
really.
it.
But they can't track it, and they can't accuse them of it, so they just replace it. And so with our card, the complete card, a person is not authorized to use a card can't use it, so you have to have the fingerprint and PIN number. So we know if the person that did that, they would have to call back and say, I was held up and they made me buy all this stuff because, I bought all this stuff. Because we have your fingerprint to authorize it and your PIN number, we know that you had to be at premise, the owner of the card. And since it has a GPS chip and a cellular chip, we know where the card was used and where it presently is. So if you lose your card or forget it at a club or at a restaurant, and you can go on the app, everything the card does, the app mirrors. So you don't have to always have your card or your app, so your mobile phone. You can have one or the other or both. If you forget your card or lose it, you can go on the .com, the website, or you can go on the app and locate card. And you're like, oh, okay, it's still at the club. You can send a message to the card and say, hey, I'm the owner. Can you call me and let me know where to pick my card up? Whatever your personalized message would be, it'll send it right to the card. The card will light up, and hopefully somebody sees it. They pick it up, they call the phone number that you just sent them, say, oh, yeah, we have your card. It'll be at the front desk. So we're always trying to think of how to make it easier. And if you don't want to do all that because you were in town for the night and you were in a business meeting and you had to leave, you just call our assurance department and we'll replace your card.
Well, you know what I was thinking, too, because I always will, like if I stop for gas, I'll put my card in my back pocket, forget it, and it goes in the wash. With all of that technology, will you ruin it?
Well, we're actually testing it now because we're testing the new plastics and stuff.
Okay.
So we're looking at, different ways. So that does happen. I mean, that's humanistic that,
yes.
We wash our wallets, we wash, things in our pockets. So that happens. And I think we're going to write in our policy that we'll replace your card once for free.
Okay.
And after that, you have to. I mean, that's part of our part of our business model. I've actually never washed anything besides paper in my pocket, but other than that, I've never had anything hard washed. And I love doing laundry, so maybe I check the pockets too well.
Oh gosh, I hate it. You know, and that's what's hard now because I'm an investor, so it's all my own.
There you
I
go.
can't get anybody else to do it. I find that this, I mean, and you and I know, like when we first talked and I fell in love with you, there's so much good that can come out of this. Just even, more than the whole commerce side of it, but humanitarian part of it, Eddie, I feel like, I mean, because of all of the different things that the card can do that people aren't even, that we don't even know yet. But, I mean, I was just on a call, and I've told you about these people, about the human sex trafficking. I mean, or, now with, like, Hurricane Dorian. I mean, you get people that are using their cards and take, like when you go and they round up. Take that round up money and put it whatever humanitarian need is needed. I mean, you can direct
whatever charity they want, or they can put it in. I mean, that's what Ashton Kutcher, one of his companies, Eggcoin, does, where you buy something and the change rounds up into a savings account or into your favorite charity, automatically goes there. It's no effort to you, and at the end of the day, you did a good thing or you saved some money, and that change adds up. We all know that.
Yes, so, exactly. I mean, that's...
I mean, you were talking about, Hurricane Dorian. One of the functions that our card has is remittance. Remittance is a very big business in the United States, so we have a lot of day workers and people who are here who send money back to their countries. Like I send money to Vietnam, to my families, and it's a very hard process because Vietnam doesn't have any processing. So you have to send it to somebody then they have to go to that bank, and banking is less than third world over there. And so they, pick up the cash, and it's a 2-week process, or at least a week process to get that money there. And it's so sad because now with our card, when I have a card and my cousin has a card in Vietnam, I can just pull up her name on the screen or on the app of my phone and say, send her $100. It transfers to her in $100 USD or in the Vietnamese dong. So depending on how she wants to receive it. And there's no fees because we own the rail the money is transferred to. We're partners with Polyfi Bank out of Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, and they back all of our transfers. So it's a very good relationship. And another thing our card does, a lot of the millions of people who have cryptocurrencies from Bitcoin to Ethereum and every other registered currency, there's over 1,200 of them. Now you upload your crypto wallet to our card in our app, and now you can buy that cup of coffee with your Bitcoin. So what happens is you swipe through, you pick your Bitcoin wallet, you authorize the payment, you're at Starbucks, you tap, you pay for your venti, drip, and it's $2.50. Instantly that communication goes to Polyfi. They take a sliver of that $2.50 of that micro percentage of Bitcoin, and they back that payment up to Starbucks for that $2.50 instantaneously. So now you can actually use your Bitcoin rather than only think Bitcoin can be used.
And you can use your Bitcoin even if Starbucks doesn't take Bitcoin, is what you're saying.
No, they don't have to. I mean, they don't. The merchant doesn't know you're paying with Bitcoin. They're getting money. What happens is Polyfi intercepts that communication because once you open your wallet, Polyfi turns on, and basically now it knows, whatever you have to pay for, they're going to back it up. So they send the payment to that merchant. So the merchant knows nothing. Nothing changes.
Okay, so I own Walmart, let's just say. And I'm actually sitting here talking to all you people on Armed Radio Global. Thank you, Joe Savino and Jimmy Bell, for making it happen. There we go, I plugged it. But so let's say I own Walmart, and I mean, this makes so much sense to have the Walmart name on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm talking to your audience. Anybody who has an organization that has more than 250,000 members. They want to white label a card, a complete card. You know, whatever your company is. Let's just say it's Walmart. Walmart wants their own complete card. It'll have their logo on it, their artwork spinning in the video on the screen, and you're always top of mind. So your company is always top of mind when you take out your card and you're like, you know what? Walmart gives me the best deal because they gave me, you know, access to 1 million merchants on top of Walmart to save 40% or better.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm always going to carry this card because I get the best deal possible.
Or let's take it another level. So, not a store, but you're an influencer, like some people we just talked about, and you've got their card, and all of a sudden you're walking down Rodeo Drive, and all of a sudden something flashes up, and Kim Kardashian's telling you to go get a cup of coffee on her. Right?
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah,
we have broadcasting opportunity where, you know, the owner of the card, which would be the business. So if Walmart wants to send out a broadcast, and they can pick their geographical location, they can pick their demographical ideals, they go into the dashboard and they say, you know what, we're going to run a special at this store on Main Street in Kansas City. We need to push all these new blankets, and let's send out a message within a 10-mile radius to everybody who has a complete card, Walmart complete card, and tell them if they come in, they get 2 for 1 if they have the complete card. So that message will go directly to your card and to your phone, and that person is going to see it and be like, oh my God, I need that blanket. And I say blanket because I have a new blanket coming out called the Comfy.
What?
It's a knockoff. It's a second generation of the Snuggie blanket. Snuggie was the blanket with arms. The Comfy will be the blanket with legs.
I want one.
You will definitely have a gift bag of them.
Yay! Seriously, that's so cool. You know, because
Yeah, I'm excited with it because Snuggie did really well, over $800 million in 3 years, and Comfy tested much better because people's legs and their feet get colder. So it's basically just think of pajama bottoms with hoodies attached to a blanket, and you wear it, and you know your feet and your legs are always covered. So
yes. Oh my gosh.
When you're not using it, it turns into a travel pillow. It folds into itself and turns into a travel pillow, so you can take it with you. And it comes with a mesh laundry bag, so when you wash it, you put it into the laundry bag, and it doesn't fray.
How many colors?
I'm actually doing a focus group right now on what colors I should launch with. Black is definitely going to be one of them. I'm going to do 2 colors. Snuggie launch with 1 color until they started making money, but I'm going to launch with 2 colors. You can tell me what the other color should be. I'll listen.
I like purple.
Purple? Purple's a good color.
I like purple.
Yeah, it's on the list to test. So we're actually doing that focus group tomorrow with the new materials, and we go live next month in less than 30 days.
I see. You're amazing to me because I didn't even know about that. Okay, and how many employees do you have?
I have direct employees in my office, 15.
Okay.
Most of them are statisticians because I'm all about data.
Okay.
So I crunch data a lot. I make sure that I understand who my demographic and psychographics are. I understand before I take on any client, and I think that's what makes us a little bit better, is that we go back to data and say, you know what, if we're selling this Comfy blanket, how well can we do? So we look at the industry, we look at, you know, what other novelty blankets were sold, and because my company worked on Snuggie, I have the inside information anyways, but we plug it all in and we come back and say, you know what, this should do very well. It's not going to be novelty like Snuggie was for $19.95. We're actually selling it for $34.95 because it's going to be a heavier blanket. It comes with other things that turns into a pillow, and it's actually truly utilitarian. And I mean, people are going to make fun of it regardless, and I'm okay with that because
make fun of it all the way to the bank.
I'm okay with that. I am okay with that.
No, I mean, I honestly. So, how far up does the blanket go? Like up to your neck?
On the blanket, yeah, I can. You know, it's longer than that. So the blanket's 8 feet long from toe to the top of the blanket. So you can cuddle in it, and it's 5 feet wide, so it can wrap around you. And I can send you. I mean, if you have me back on, I would like to give some away to your callers.
Oh my gosh, no, we will do that. So no, Eddie, I'm sitting here in my house. My feet are cold. Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed, but I can tell you this because you've been in my messy car. Okay, so tomorrow morning I've got the Home Depot guys coming to measure my floor, and I'm going to get hardwood floors. Think about that. In the winter in Minnesota, how much I want that. And because I'm going to have hardwood floors instead of carpet. Oh my gosh. But I'm so embarrassed because one of my friends bed. Oh, I was going to say, I'm so embarrassed though. So my house right now, I got rid of a couch, and the other couch that I got, my kids couldn't get in the house. And so right now I've got I've got the cushions from the couch because I like to be downstairs and sleep on the couch with the dogs. My kids are going, Mom, sleep. So I just have the cushions on the floor. So I was just thinking to myself, I got to take them out before the guy comes to measure in the morning because that just looks pathetic. It's like, are you a homeless person in your own home? What are you doing on the floor there on your cushions? Are you a squatter here? Yes, I'm squatting in my own home. It's so funny. Right now my dogs are just like, this is pretty cool. Because my bed is super high. So that's why, I got little-legged dogs, a wiener dog and a corgi. And my bed is like up to my waist. So they jump down and then they can't get back up, and I'm just afraid my wiener dog will get hurt. So I think it's easier for you just to change your bed. No, that was too easy. Yeah, that's how a guy thinks. I was like, no, it's like, see, I told you I'm a princess. It's like, I call it my princess in the pee bed. Not that I pee in it. There you go. But and even, like, I would definitely change the bed then. Make it lower. Yes. So it's so pretty. It's like the 4-poster, and then I've got, a canopy on it that's all drapey and girly because I was married. You're a real princess. I always said I was. So I was married. I had 3 boys. And I had nothing girly. So when I got out of my marriage and I got my own room again, got me a canopy. I was like, I want a princess room. So there you go. No complaints. We all deserve that one thing we want. Exactly. So no, I just love hanging out with you. I did not know. I can't wait for that. It sounds like something that, like you'd want to just lay there and just, like, oh my God, it sounds so comfy. I wouldn't even want to get out of bed. Yeah, I'm never cold, and I've caught myself actually using the product before. And it's funny because my husband doesn't like any of the products that I make because they're not luxury brands. And he actually likes this product. He really needs, seriously, so my friend Al Howard, and he was on the show a while back, the one that I showed you that makes his own. He's like, oh yeah, really, I love his bags. Yeah. You should get your hubby one. I think he would, even though it's not like name brand, it's about to be because it was his own. He actually liked it because someone like him who's an influencer in our community, people will see them and be like, oh my God, that's a beautiful bag. He likes the doctor bag. Just throwing it out there. That's good because, Elle, I introduced you to him, didn't I? Or did I just send you the stuff? I can't remember. Yeah, we had that conversation. So we've had so many conversations, so I forget. But yeah, so he wasn't ready for my marketing machine yet. No, but I've been impressed with what he's been putting out on social media. He's doing videos of him making the stuff now, and yeah, that's how you start it. Yeah, so it's just beautiful, but I want. And his bags will last forever. It's amazing to me. So what I thought would be cool with that is making it an experience. So 100%. You go out to his studio and he makes your free while you're there. Yeah, that's sexy. A lot of the boutique high-end shops here in LA do that. You meet the artist, you meet the artisan, and they measure you, they cut it, and you're a part of the process. And people love that. People are willing to pay for that. I think that's because then you keep it. What I love about it is one of a kind. When you get a Gucci, everybody's got Gucci. whatever.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I've got that same
Yeah.
vibe. This I like because it'll be like the same style, but it's individual. And then, so do you do not like, okay, so we're talking products, and I know I've got like 3 minutes left. See, this is what happens because I want to keep talking. And so,
Not you.
I know, right? Chatty Cathy. So I've always had this idea of a book because I can't make this shit up. That's my life. It's seriously my dating, okay? And I always thought I should make a little coffee book that says I can't make this shit up. And just, I wish there could be somebody following me watching the shit that I deal with. I mean, if I label somebody a name, that means that it's probably not going to be a lasting relationship. And I told you about Open Mouth Chewer. Did I tell you about Bone Biter? So, yeah, this one guy ordered a bone-in ribeye, cut the bone out first, put his elbows on the table, and started chewing the bone at the restaurant, open mouth chewing it. I saw meat fall from his mouth. And then, after he chews all the meat off the bone, puts the bone on my plate and says, here, make sure you take this home to your dogs.
Oh, wait, I do remember you telling me that. And I was like, yeah, next.
Yes. No. But, Eddie, because I can't look away from the wreck, I got asked out again. And I made sure I sat next to him, and I ordered chicken wings, and then he said, oh God, I pray he doesn't listen to the show, because he's a nice guy. But he goes, I need to teach you how to eat chicken wings. If there would have been a camera, I mean, there's got to be something, because he showed me how to eat. I mean, because he's like, there's way too much meat left on that. I was going to, like, probably fall backwards if he, like, ate the meat off my bones, but he didn't. But he grabbed an extra one and showed me, and there was no meat on the bones. Bone Biter. That's why we're calling that.
That's funny.
But it was hysterical. My friends are like, you're really going to go? And I'm like, yes, because I have to. Because I actually like
It's
him.
a free meal. Get to eat.
Right? Oh my gosh, I played the tip. But everybody, okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being on the F Word. Eddie, you know I love you so much. And
thank you for having me. I feel special that you asked me.
Oh, you know, and I didn't even know that you do your show. So that's so cool. You know what we got to do is we got to have a call where it's not just about one thing. It's where it's like, okay, we do this, and this, and hold hands and skip while we do it.
There you go.
All right, love you.
Love you a long time. Bye.
Bye. Good night, everybody.